Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially waiting for the release of the Nintendo Switch 2, and that is just months away now. We just had the reveal, so we're all waiting to start the next generation of Nintendo consoles. But that does not mean the Nintendo Switch is done just quite yet. And I think we're going to get a huge Nintendo Direct, possibly the last one for the Switch ever, in the month of February. So in this video, I'll be letting you know what you could possibly expect from that. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So this isn't just me assuming that there's going to be a Direct in February. There's been a bunch of leaks from a bunch of credible people who predicted the Switch 2 reveal date perfectly, exactly. Yeah, they're very precise is what I'm trying to say. So it seems like that's actually going to happen, and even though it's the last Nintendo Switch focused Nintendo Direct, I think there's going to be some big surprises in there. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. We are 50 subscribers away from 15,000. That's incredible, so join this community and let's go ahead and get into the video. Oh yeah, keep in mind, everything I'm talking about in this video is directly from Nintendo. So all first party stuff or big Nintendo announcements, no third party stuff, no indie stuff. But I'm only going to be talking about things that would be coming from Nintendo directly. Nintendo Direct, you get it, we got it, let's move on. The first game I think that could definitely make an appearance is Kirby Planet Robobot, which is actually one of the best Nintendo 3DS games of all time, one of the best Kirby games of all time, and just one of the best Nintendo games ever. I just got a 3DS the beginning of 2024, I think. I missed the entire generation. I didn't have a 3DS while it was out. There really was some amazing games. I definitely think we could get this over on the Switch, especially because we were seeing trademarks be renewed, I think last year. And it seems like Nintendo was going to do something around the time of this game. We got some leaks saying the same thing. And I really think this would be a great game to bring over to the Switch. Now, I don't know what that would be. Would that be a remake, a remaster, a straight port? Possibly a remaster if you had to ask me. But yeah, this would be a great thing to have to hold us over until the Switch 2. Also, something they could do, which I don't think would happen, would be to get Zelda: A Link Between Worlds over on the Switch. That game is incredible. Speaking of Zelda, where the hell is Zelda Wind Waker and Zelda Twilight Princess? These are some of the last Wii U games that never made an appearance on the Switch, and something to keep in mind, these games were released on every single Nintendo console since the GameCube. They were on the GameCube, the Wii, and the Wii U. They did not show up on the Switch, and I find that very strange. They could easily port over the Wii U version, which are the HD remakes, I think, or just the HD versions, sell them for $60 each, and everybody would love that. Like, we wouldn't love the price, but we would just love having the games. There is a strange theory that people have that it's going to come in a package deal. I cannot see that happening at all, because that would mean Nintendo selling each game for $30 if you're getting both games for $60. Now I could see the argument coming from Nintendo as well, as you've got these games on every console since the GameCube. So let's skip the Switch since we're almost done with that generation, and just hold these off as maybe even launch games for the Switch 2. But if I had to guess, I really do think these could show up in this Direct. I've seen a bunch of trademarks for both of these games, and some of that trademark is for merchandising. So I think Nintendo releases these games, maybe some amiibos or something, maybe a couple shirts, and make a bunch of money, and it would just be amazing. Now I don't know, would they release these games at the same time, if that would even make sense, but yeah, Wind Waker's my favorite Zelda game ever. Twilight Princess is in my top 4 or 5, easy, so I would love to play these on my Switch. Now, something I really do think could happen, especially with the Switch 2 being backwards compatible. Over the past 12 to 18 months, we've seen a lot of Nintendo Switch games being pulled off the shelves, like the stock runs out and they just don't restock it. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen, but I want to say like a year ago or 6 months ago, there was a list of all these games that retailers were told, do not restock these, we're done stocking these games. Something I think that could happen, especially with the Switch 2 being backwards compatible, is Nintendo Selects coming back. I mean, it's literally free money for Nintendo. We're moving into a brand new generation of Nintendo consoles. They gotta have millions of these games just sitting around. We're not gonna be wanting to buy those games full price, especially if we're paying full price for Switch 2 games. So knock these games down to, I want to say like $30, but realistically even $40 I think would definitely help, but $30 is that price point I think is perfect. Bring Nintendo Selects back, Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a couple Pokemon games, maybe Pikmin 4, some Fire Emblem, stuff like that, and I think this would just be amazing. And I think this is a perfect time to do that. And as crazy as that sounds, I really do think this actually might be a possibility. Now, another thing that is going to happen, but the only question is, when will this happen? GameCube will eventually come to Nintendo Switch Online. There's no question, it's going to happen. We've seen last year new patents for GameCube style controllers for the Switch coming from Nintendo directly. I think there's like 8 or 10 GameCube games on the Switch. So why would you bring this controller over, a new controller, just for those games only? GameCube will come to Nintendo Switch Online. I think this is the perfect time to do that. Especially, there's a rumor that they're going to increase Nintendo Switch Online to $70. You can't do that for no reason. Why not start doing that now? Bring GameCube over. This will get a bunch of new Nintendo Switch Online subscriptions. And then when the Switch 2 is here, they'll add more stuff, probably even more tiers if we're being honest. But there really is so many incredible GameCube games that I would love to play on the Switch. And I know this eventually will happen. So if they're going to do anything with Nintendo Switch Online, I think GameCube is coming. Now, there's another thing I think that's probably going to happen sooner than later, and that is the classic Pokemon games coming to Nintendo Switch Online. We have a Pokemon Presents in February as well, probably near the end of the month. I think I heard February 27th maybe is when this is supposed to happen. We're going to hear information about Pokemon Legends EA there, see the first gameplay trailer, but I also think the classic Pokemon games will finally make an appearance. Literally 48 hours ago or a couple days ago, something like that, I was looking at trademarks and I seen new trademarks for Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, and it was the OG like 151 artwork. And then I seen merchandising trademark for the same 3 Pokemon. I think there might have been Eevee as well, but it just looked like the classic Pokemon artwork, and I'm like, man, I think this is finally gonna happen. I just beat Pokemon Fire Red, so I don't know if I'm that excited to play these games again. I beat the first generation of Pokemon no less than 15 times. I don't know, maybe I will play it. And they also could bring green version over and translate it to English, because this was only a Japan release. That would be so freaking cool, especially since they like bringing over Japanese versions. I don't know if they would translate it, but they could bring it over, and that would be sick, dude. There's a good 80% of people who played Pokemon who never experienced green version. I used to have a copy of it. I couldn't understand it, but it was cool having it. Now, another thing that I hope they do is at least have one more special edition Nintendo Switch. The very last special edition Switch that they released is right here, and that's the Legend of Zelda Switch Lite. This console is beautiful. It is my favorite Switch they released the entire generation, but it's a Switch Lite. I feel like they have to have at least one more Switch OLED special edition, and I mean the possibilities are really endless. They could have a Pokemon Legends EA special edition, maybe a Metroid Prime 4 special edition. I really don't even know. There's so many possibilities. They kind of do it with games coming out, so maybe a Xenoblade special edition. I would really like to have just one more special edition Switch. I'm probably not going to buy it, but it always makes me very excited seeing them, and there's just so many things they could have did. Yeah, these are some of my predictions, and like I said, this is only stuff coming from Nintendo directly. There's probably going to be some huge third-party announcements. Some really cool indie games could show up, but this is the last Nintendo Switch Direct. Just focus on the Nintendo Switch only, because April 2nd we have the Switch 2 Direct. So hopefully Nintendo goes out with a bang, man. That Nintendo Direct we got last April, where they showed off Metroid Prime 4 and Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and a bunch of other stuff I'm probably forgetting. Like, that was massive to get at the end of the Switch's life cycle. So maybe they got another big one in store. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this information? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys are expecting from this Nintendo Direct. And if you made it to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe, and follow your boy on Instagram, because that would be pretty cool. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.